Hey guys, I hope that you guys are doing amazing wherever you are in the world. My name is Boom Shakha and I welcome you to my channel. In this video, I want to speak to you guys about Stoicism and how one of my favorite books in the world is Ryan Holiday's The Daily Stoic. If you guys haven't read it, I totally, absolutely recommend it. I love him and I love the book. And I read it constantly. I always have it by my bedside and I'll just kind of open it up. It's 366 meditations on Stoicism, one for every day of the year. And so I'll just pick it up and I'll kind of open it up at a random page. I'll read through it. I'll think about it before I go to sleep or when I wake up in the morning. I'll just meditate on it. It's just such a fun way, philosophy in general, and kind of thinking about all those different things. Such a fun way to kind of maybe mentally masturbate a little bit, but also kind of think about how the world works and what is your opinion about the way the world works, right? One of the first lessons that the book teaches us is about the basic essence of Stoicism, or what is Stoicism all about. And the basic learning or the basic teaching of Stoicism that they always start off with is that you need to understand what are the different things that are under your control. So there are a bunch of things that is under your sphere of influence that you can control, that you can do something about, that you can actually influence, that you can have any semblance of control over, right? So that might include your body, your body in terms of your health, in terms of the stuff that you put into your head, in terms of the way you spend your time, mostly. Things like that. The things that are not under your control, how other people behave, if other people like you or not, what politics is doing or what religion is doing or what all the major institutions in the world are doing, what the bank interest rates are, blah, 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 right? So those things are not under your control. And so as soon as you realize, Stoicism says, as soon as you realize the difference between the things that are under your control and the things that are not under your control, that is when true freedom arises. Because what happens is that instead of trying to change things that you cannot change and beating your head against the wall that's never going to be broken or never going to secede to you, what you do is you just focus on the things you can control. So for example, when you are taking a flight and you're standing in a long lineup and you're really worried because you're going to miss your flight, what can you control in that matter? The only thing you can do is either you ask the security guard, I'm going to miss my flight, can I go to the front of the line? You ask them. If they say no, then you just stay in line, or you just stand in line and wait for your turn. That's all you can do. There are no other options there. You can't start yelling about it, can't start crying about it. Can't do anything else about it. You can ask the people in the lineup if you can just go ahead of them, or you can just stand in line. Right? Same thing when a flight is delayed. You're standing there and there's a message that comes up, okay, that the flight's going to be delayed for an hour. And you know that if your flight is delayed, then you're going to get to the hotel room later, and then that meeting that you set up, you're not going to be able to get to it, blah, 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 right? The only thing, though, you can do at that moment in time is you cannot change the weather, you cannot change the flight, you can't change their schedule, you can't make it go faster, you can't do anything about that. The only thing you can do is call the person that you're meeting with and say, I'm sorry, I'm going to be late. Call your hotel room and say that, I'm sorry, I'm going to be late, can you have a late checkout for me, or whatever, check-in for me, or whatever it might be, whatever you can control. So those are the things you can control. The things you can't control is crying and bitching about the fact that the flight is delayed. That is a waste of our time. And I think why Stoicism is so powerful, in my opinion, or why I love it so much, is because it gives common or normal human beings like us a little bit more freedom, a little bit more choice, and a little bit more control in this mad, uncontrollable world. Because you're moving through the world and you know that most of the things that you're going to be looking at are going to be out of your control. What most people spend, though, their time doing is they spend their time fighting against these things that are non-controllable. They spend their time fighting against things that are not under their sphere of influence. And so it's basically an unwinnable battle. They're in unwinnable battles all of their days, all of their lives. That's why they feel so out of control. That's why they feel so stressed out. That's why they have all of these anxieties, right? But if you believe in Stoicism, you know that all of this is just a waste of your time. Not only is it a waste of your time, it's a waste of your energy, it's a waste of your mental space, it's a waste of everything. You're basically fighting a battle that you're not going to win. If you yell at the flight attendant or the stewardess or whatever term you want to call it, the attendant of the flight, the airline counter, and you say, my God, but I'm going to miss my flight. If I miss my flight, if you start yelling at them about it, is that going to do anything? No, because what's going to happen is either if you cause too much of a ruckus, you might be arrested, or if you're not, then you're just going to have someone who hates you a little bit more because you're being an idiot. There's nothing they can do about it. The flight is delayed. There's nothing they can do about it. There's nothing you can do about it. All you can do is sit back down in your seat, read your book, be calm about it, enjoy your time off, take that time that you have to maybe have a coffee or whatever it might be, right? Just chillax, just relax. But a lot of people, what they will do is they will go up to their airline counter and start saying, oh my God, do you know who I am? Do you know where I have to be? I have a meeting. Like, it's your fault. I don't know. I want compensation. Blah, blah. They start yelling. Now, again, that's not going to do anything. Maybe it'll get them a few things here and there, but really, in the general scheme of things, all they're doing is they're making an individual hate them. Also, they're just ruining the days of all the people around them. And also, what they're doing is they're wasting their time, energy, and effort. All of that energy that they're spending on fighting and yelling could be spent on something different, something that they can actually control. Okay? So that's one of the main lessons of Stoicism, and I really, really love it because it has been one of those things that have completely changed my mind when I moved through the world. It's so easy when we move through the world to kind of fight battles that we're not going to win. And I used to spend a lot of time fighting battles that I am not going to win, fighting with people that are not going to listen to me, trying to convince people to my opinions, to my way of looking at things, and knowing that they're never going to agree with it. You know, fighting with people over politics or religion, knowing that they're never ever going to agree with my viewpoint. Things like that. I wasted so much time doing these kind of things. Not only that, but I was one of those people who would get angry. I wouldn't yell because I don't do that, but I would get angry about the fact that the flight is late. And then I would spend all this time fuming about it, whereas that was such a waste of my energy, waste of my time, waste of everything. Right? So now I'm kind of using this Stoicism philosophy and using this Stoicism learning in order to kind of move through the world and really understand what is under my sphere of influence, what can I control and what can I not control. Interestingly enough, there's only few things that you can control, and according to Stoicism, one of the main things, one of the only things really that you can control is your choice of how you're going to react to the situation. It's your body. Your body usually is not under your control. You might get an illness at any moment, through no fault of yours, the pollution or through genetics or whatever it might be. And a lot of bodies in a lot of countries are actually under the government's control rather than your own control. Or you might believe that you have control over your relationships, but of course your partner might leave you at any moment. You might think you have control over your job, but you might be kicked out at any moment. So the only thing Stoicism says you have control over, really, if you think about it, is your choices, is how you react to the world. And those choices are the ones that are really going to be showing us what we are doing in the world, right? So those are the only things that we have control over, our choices, right? And so I want you guys to remember that, and whenever you're moving through the world, remember that those are the only things that you have control over, that you have control over nothing else except the choices that you make and how you're going to react to the world. Your choices are the only things that you have control over, okay? All right, I hope this makes sense to you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for being on my channel. I appreciate your support, and I shall see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.